I never imagined the testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
They're all just standing there while she's collapsed on the ground.
Possibly.
What are you saying?
Sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Very dark murder, Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Oh wow, another new sprite animation.
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
Wouldn't that be the handprint on the piece of the fabric or something that we have?
Maybe, but
I'm willing to bet you don't.
yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
You don't have evidence, and we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify, especially seeing how Maya's not here. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still enough of a possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
Only the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly.
That is true. It actually did say he died in about 10 minutes.
May have left behind the name of the person who took his life.
Oh.
In one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you?
So, okay, so it can't be the cloth then.
Okay.
A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind...
Is in the evidence?
Well, let's face it, this is the only thing that's in the room.
Yeah.
So those red markings would have to mean something.
Yeah.
Because this is just a handprint, and to be honest, we don't know what that's from.
Yeah.
This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister is a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek.
The truth.
The truth.
The truth. The truth. The truth is on fire. Yeah, I'll see myself out.
No matter how painful it may be.
And I'll see myself out back in because I gotta rejudge. Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. It would probably have to be this. This is the message left by the deceased. This is the that blue badger from the before.
Oh, is he going to speak the killer's name?
I don't know. Gant, is it possible for the blue badger to speak someone's name? I haven't even got that far with my experiments. Yeah, Edgeworth.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking. Why is there a handprint on the Blue Badger's face?
Fuck, I don't know. That's been there for a while now.
Thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
Looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line.
That's me. Yes, there's a line here drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is that these dots were once lines.
Prosecution Marshal did not die instantly. Whoops, and I clicked the wrong button. He used these few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe the bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I gotta connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Okay. So, down there. It will probably have to be Emma. That's the only real thing I can really think of. Oh. Yeah. That's about right. It's a defense attorney. Blah, 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 blah. Let's start that again. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why I've been thinking about. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it will turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye.
Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Ack. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer, that's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Did you know we aren't defenders of justice?
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in the charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sentenced an innocent man to death. How can that just stand there like this, like blah blah blah, order, rattle, rattle.
Order.
Shut up, Dumbledore. Anyway, the gavel pounding.
What are they? Dumbledore was like, silence!
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire? Anyway.
No. Did you ask an elder student to do it? You think that would defeat your age circle?
Well, no. It just prevents younger students from doing it, but... Oh, Moody tricked the goblet.
Yeah.
Oh, spoilers, by the way. Anyway.
What's that even Moody?
Spoilers?
Everybody must have seen it by now, unless you're living under a rock.
People got pissed off when people revealed Gears of War 3 spoilers that Dom died. Whoops. Anyway, the gavel fell.
Hey, he went out in style, though.
Anyway, the gavel pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where the trial is headed, no one knows. To be continued. Sometime later, back in defendant lobby number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. Didn't mean to get you in trouble. Again.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours.
Phew.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
No, you glorious himbo, come back.
Wait,
That's me. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run up all around while on duty. On top of it, and to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
I take it Lana's having you run errands again.
Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
Well, that's not defendant's job, but okay.
Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
Message?
She said if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book.
Him? I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Okay, might as well do this now. Oh, we haven't been given it yet. Now we have. Evidence law.
Doesn't look like
Yep,
that
freedom.
book will do you any good now, though.
Okay. Oh, this is it. Okay, rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Gumshoe.
Oh, all that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me, Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she's unwittingly caused the man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me.
Pal.
You're
missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman.
Huh?
She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there.
What?
And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This evidence has hurt too many. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Wright style. Back in the courtroom. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Also, give them the news to tell them to go fuck themselves. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls for witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have
struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone's been talking and...
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth or further witnesses.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
The defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Bring out Damon
Gumshoe.
It was Meekins.
Oh God, let's please not bring him back again.
No, my voice can't handle it. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant had first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. Alright. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir.
Oh, he's not gonna make his list.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered the prosecutor? Firstly, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
For example, your fascination with swimming. Like the role you played in all this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You're aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Yes. Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Well, that's new.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risk. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Very well, the witness now begin his testimony. Witness testimony of the SL9 incident.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Forgery? Is that when Dark was arrested?
He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma set Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I have to hit him hard and fast. Okay. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day.
Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it.
So the two of you ran immediately after him, right?
That's right. But Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs, I guess you could say. He got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went into his heart, though.
Fuck, man. That's not funny. Could you tell us what you saw?
It was a shocking sight. Neil and the serial killer were laying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together.
Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor?
Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were the two poor girls.
Lana and Enna.
Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done.
How can you know that?
Because of the victim's body, it had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor.
Yes.
Anyway.
as you can see, it had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I can't understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are excusable no matter what the circumstances.
Is that how it really went down?
Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy, always a smooth talker.
Well, which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I gotta link Gant to the incident.